In this video, I'm just going to cover a bit of advanced stuff. Now, if you're very au fait with Excel and VBA, I don't want to teach you how to suck eggs, etc., so you'll know all this. This is for people really who are intermediate to low level. But as I said in the very first video, in the installation video, before you do any of this, make sure you have a backup copy, because if you start messing about with things and you don't really know what you're doing, you will break it and it will not work after that. So A, make sure you've got a backup, and B, you can always close the application or Excel and don't save it if you do screw things up. Now, when you open it, you'll probably find that your ribbon is collapsed. So if you go to any section in there, you can pin that ribbon so you can keep it there. Also on the view, you can unview the formula bar, the headings, etc., stuff like that, and you can collapse this again up here. So you can set up the Excel window however you want. Now, most of the stuff, most of the calculations you'll see in here, if I just open up the formula bar so you can see things, and if I pin that to the top, so you'll see in the formula, normally if you've got a formula, you'll see it in this formula bar here. So at the moment, there's nothing in there. So if I just undo that, you can't see anything, yeah? Now you can overwrite these, but what will happen is when you go clear new bet line, it'll reinsert all the formulas, and if you click in there, you can't see the formulas. So that's really to protect people from messing about with the formulas and breaking things. If you want to have a look at how things are calculated, you can actually, if you look at the review tab, see the sheet is protected. You can unprotect this sheet and then you can see the formula. So you see that there's some quite complicated formulas in here, and if you change anything within that formula, it will break. But as I said, if you're proficient in this and you know VBA and you know Excel formulas, feel free to have a play around with it. To get rid of them again, all you do is go protect formulas and go OK. Yeah, and then you can't see these formulas again. So that's hiding the formulas, etc., so you can't screw things up. But as I said, you can overwrite these and you can put in whatever you want in there, yeah. But as soon as you go clear new bet line, it will reinstigate all the formulas for you, so you can't break it if it's protected. As I said earlier, on the graphs page, again, that's protected. So if you unprotect the sheet, you can then go into each individual graph and you can set the, you can format these graphs. So you can format the plot areas, the graph types, the data, etc. So again, if you know what you're doing, you can play about with the graphs and probably make them a lot better than I've made them. So, but again, reprotect the sheet, you just go OK, and then you can't break them. Now, one thing that you can do as a simple, a basic user or even intermediate user is on the performance tables. I mentioned earlier about setting icons on any of these data metrics to make them easy to visually see very quickly what's performing well and what's not performing well. And that's very simple to do. If you just go to the home ribbon and you've got this section here called conditional formatting, so you can format them as color bars, you can format them as icon sets. So you can pick a set of icons and you can have different parameters where different icons show. So simply, if you pick a bunch of shapes, in fact, let's just escape from that. And what we need to do is undo that. So we need to select the data that you want to have the icons with. You then need to go to conditional formatting, go icon sets, pick some shapes. Now you see it's put these shapes in next to these figures here. Now where it's getting those shape colors from, if you go to conditional formatting and you go manage rules, so it's got the icon set there and it knows which section to apply it to. And you can edit that rule. So if you go in there and see it's got these values, So what you need to do is set there. So this is being treated as a number. So if you click in there as number, and then you can say, well, any value above, in this case, say 100 is going to be green, and any value below 100 but above 50 would be amber, and anything less than 50 would show as red. So if you go OK and save that, go OK, save that. So now you see you've got different colours. So that's above 100, so it's green. That's below 50, it's red. That's above 50, it's amber, etc. And you now what you can do is once you've got that set up, and you go in there and you go manage rules, and you edit that rule, you can change any of these icon colors. So you could have a different icon. So you could have an arrow, you could have a tick. So you can pick and choose whatever you want to do. If you go into here, there are 4 different arrows you can use, or 4 different bar charts. So you can mix and match these up to however you want them. So let's have a look. So you could have flags. Yeah. If you go OK, so now it's changed them to flags. So you can set these up any way you want. It's very simple, conditional formatting. Initially use the icon sets, then you can manage those rules and you can set them up. So when you go into manage rules, go into icon sets, go edit the rule, you can set the values up to whatever you want them to be, you can set the icons up to whatever you want them to be, you can set individual icons. So you can do it any way you want. If you want to get rid of that, all you go in there is delete that rule. Delete that rule, go OK, and they've gone. Yeah, so you can set those icons, colors, bar charts, however you want to display them on these sheets any way you want. And it's just a very simple visual way of highlighting which metrics are performing well and which metrics are performing badly. So then you can start looking at the data and say, well, hang on, you know, this particular tips is not performing very well, or this sport I'm not doing very well at, or my bet type, or whatever metric it is you want to look at. So that's a couple of things you can do with the advanced section, but just be aware every time you do something, if the sheet's protected, yeah, if you're going to unprotect it, reprotect it again, and then you won't see all these formulas, etc. So as I say, if I unprotect that sheet, formulas come up, and you can start messing about with the formulas. So always reprotect the sheet when you've finished doing what you're doing, and then save your sheet and save your data, and that's it.